coach coaching an Austrian. So I mentioned earlier, you know, he was lifting in the Austrian Bundesliga and is, of course, Austrian champion at this weight class. Competed in Moscow in the Grand Prix, but his biggest total of the season, David, so far, that was in the Nationals when he did 402.5, for 417. So he's got, what's he got? He's got 182.5. So
this would put him on 397, so I can't see him doing 417 today. I think he's probably just put that in to get a B, sorry, to get into the A group, I would have thought.
Yeah,
can't see him getting anywhere near this.
To be on telly.
Yes.
Well, I think it's nice to see a Western-based athlete on television rather than always the athletes only from Eastern Europe. But he has actually clean and jerked 222.5 this season, and that is his personal best.
Yeah, 2-1. What wasn't the most convincing lift for me.
Again, another man who's absent from this is the flexible Pole, Kolechki, the man who's had really backache since Sydney. And he's been, you know, traveling Europe to the Ukraine to try and get treatment to sort it out. You know, effective at 94 kilos, effective at 105. But, you know, even though Poland have got the Doleja brothers, actually Kolechki's a big loss to them.
Yes, it'd be nice to see Kolechki lifting in the Olympic Games at 94.
Yes.
If he could get his back sorted out. He's young, he's got an incredible clean and jerk poundage of 235 kilos. I mean, he could be a real contender for Olympic gold. It's just all about timing.
I think that's what he's probably got in his mind. But of course, the Poles have to accumulate enough points to get these qualifying places. They have the Continental Championships in Kiev, in the Ukraine, in April of next year. We'll be live on Eurosport for all of that. The last qualifying opportunity for all of the European men and women who aspire to go to.
So the bar moves to 220 kilos. This for the younger brother, the stronger athlete in the snatch lift, but as I said earlier, not known for his clean and jerking ability, and has had to come out very, very early on the clean and jerk, so he won't have had that much time from his last snatch to his first clean and jerk. So he had to warm up fairly quickly. So this would put him on 410, posted at 422.5.
Yeah, so he's a long way down on that, but that's partly because he didn't pick up the extra 5 kilos or even more on the snatch.
Lift though.
Well, he's got that 410, so maybe now with that secured, David, just relax a little bit and we'll be able to attack the next weight, whether that's 222.5, whether it's 225, we'll just have to wait and see.
He's weighed in heavier than his brother. Brother weighed in at 103.59. He weighed in at 104.71. Brother posted to start at 225. So taking that extra 5 kilos, which would put him in the lead by virtue of body weight.
Now, I mean, on his stats, Marcin's actually got a PB of 227.5, but I think that's when he weighed a little bit more. And just looking at what he's done this season, David, 220 when getting the silver medal in the World Student Championships in Pavia. So, you know, he's there or thereabouts. Whether we can get to 227.5, well, maybe. I mean, it's, you know, theoretically.
I thought that was an opening lift. Very solid, especially in the second phase.
Steiner, 5 kilos increase, 220.
Yes, and this would put him just over the 400 mark, put him on 402.5. Now let's see if he can be a bit more convincing in this second phase. That's better. That's better. Yes, a little bit shaky with the 215, but got himself together. and has managed to break the 400 total mark again. Yes, that was more like it. First attempt, he was a bit shaky on the jerk, but made no mistake on this.
Interesting to know how he's regarded within Austria, because it's not exactly known for its weightlifting.
Now, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger was Austrian, wasn't he?
The governor of California, and I reckon the governor of California might turn up in 2005 at Budapest for the centenary of the International Weightlifting Federation. Should be a good dinner anyway. David Riggert looks on at Pizarevsky, the second of the two Russians, but I don't mean that disparagingly, because he might do better than Schmorzkopf here.
Yeah, shame he wasn't able to go further in the snatch lift.
Well, Schwarzkopf's got a PB on the clean and jerk at 225. Pizarevsky's got a clean and jerk best of 230. Yeah, you're absolutely right, David. I mean, you know, when they at that timed out first attempt in the snatch, which, you know, stopped him taking those much more comfortable stepping stones in the snatch, and ended up with him taking that 7.5 kilo increase, that, you know, they might feel so sad. But
well, just underlines the importance of teamwork, and that although you're a man on the platform on your own, you are to a certain degree relying on the team around you.
Schmorzkopf, and a failure. 222.5 seemed a bit rushed to me, and not a good way to start. Now, Schmorzkopf, just looking at his championship performances, well, he managed 220 in the Europeans, when he collected the silver medal. He was 220, the bronze medalist behind Gottfried last year, and 225 in 2001 when he became world champion, and that went with a snatch of 107.5.
So the leader after the snatch, by virtue of lighter body weight, now struggling in the clean and jerk. But we always knew that the snatch was his stronger suit.
World record clean and jerk. Well, it seems, well, it is massive when you look at this. 242.5, never been achieved. Standard never set. At junior levels, Kolechki 232.5, but we're still 10 odd kilos away from that. Somehow, well, unless somebody's got something special in their locker, I don't think that particular record's going to go. The world total, 440, the standard, and that has not been achieved either. So Schmorzkopf to try and get himself back on track to take the overall lead. Let me just remind you that the man who led at the B group stage was the Hungarian Ferenc Gurkovic, 4:05. That's been surpassed now. That's better. Why didn't he do that the first time, David?
Who knows?
But, you know, lost opportunity, because he looked very comfortable there. Plenty of strength, well executed.
Yeah, it's a little bit of complacency.
But you can't, at this level, give away free lifts, give away errors. And it gives him a total of 417.5. He's in moment, but remember, the Qatar lifter yet to start, Sudas yet to start. Of course, also Robert Doleja yet to start, the other Polish brother.
So this, if he succeeds with it, will put him on 4:05. Now, is that a personal best? I know he's clean and jerked 222.5 before, but I'm not sure he's put it together with 182.5 snatch.
225 would be a new PB by 2.5 kilos.
But the total, this is equal PB on the jerk, but
total 402.5.
So this would be a personal best on the total then. Stands well. Now, can he produce something here? Well, gave it everything. Went into a very, very deep split, which is almost impossible to recover from. So ends up equaling his personal best on the total anyway.
Well, it's going to keep him in the top 10 in the world, so you know, he may earn himself a place at the Olympics. And he's only 21. So still Assad, Saif Assad of Qatar, Sudas of Turkey, and Doleja of Poland to start.
Golden service. Welcome.
So, David, here comes Robert Doleja, the first of 4 men who've yet to start. I mentioned him. I mentioned Bunyami Sudas of Turkey, also Said Assad Asaf of Qatar. But we also have to remember that Chagayev, although he blew out on the snatch, can be a threat in the clean and jerk phase. So he's still very much a live wire in this, and he can affect the way things go.
So, older of the two Doleja brothers, and this actually would put him ahead of his brother on the overall, because he's lighter. So bit of brotherly rivalry.
Yeah, Marcin sitting with a total of 410.
Oof.
Oh no,
I think he thigh injury maybe. I thought initially that he'd blacked out. No, that's cramp. That's cramp. He'll probably get away with that.
Well, what he's got to hope for, David, is somebody else coming in for 225 to give him a bit more time than 2 minutes to just follow himself. Now Sudas was down on 225, wasn't he?
There's a couple down on 225. I mean, Assad was down at 225, but obviously he was down at 85 on the snatch and increased
just
to 90. So yes, Sudas is in at 225.
And Chagayev, what's he registered as his first lift?
230.
230. Okay, so and what I meant, David, about Chagayev actually having an effect on this is, if he actually, you know, does well in the clean and jerk, effectively he can take a higher position and affect the overall ranking, even though he won't get an overall total himself. And by affecting the overall ranking, he can affect the points that somebody would or would not get in terms of Olympic qualification. So here is the start. 225 on the bar. There seemed to be some concern, David. Let's have a look at this again.
Yeah, left arm was not
2-1 against, yeah. And
yeah, so he'll have to repeat. So not doing as he did in the snatch. Remember, he lost it a little bit on that last lift with 197.5.
Not the best of angles to have a look at this press out. It's amazing to me that television directors don't actually understand that what you really need to see, David, is the front view. It's not rocket science, is it?
No. Don't upset anyone.
Now Sudas, 225 kilos.
Yeah, now this is his better lift. He uses the dive start. He'll just grab and pull straight away. Once he's got his concentration, he's gone through it in his head. He'll just grab at the bar and pull immediately.
Well, he's had not a bad day so far.
No, he's equalled his best on the snatch.
So this 28-year-old Turk really may be on the threshold of something good.
So takes his time, and then the dive, go. Cleans well.
That was a very good clean, lots of strength. Now that to me was fine. Couldn't see anything wrong with that, David. I think that's good, and it is. 3 whites, 410. up into second place with that light body weight of 102.96. So Sudas, world silver medalist in 2001 behind Schwarzkopf. Three times in his career he's been a European medalist as well. A couple of times he's won the world student title, but at this level he's one of those nearly men. Now Doleja, second attempt at 225.
That's how he stopped him, Marcin.
This is the man who's had what, 3.5 minutes to recover from the cramp in the right thigh.
No, it's his. Oh, sorry, it's the brother.
It's the brother.
No,
sorry, Martin.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
Good clean now. Just a couple of steps forward. Now he looked strong in the second phase before. Well,
stuck on 410.
Yeah, I think if he'd have got it just right on the clean and not had to take those couple of steps forward, it may have been a different story, but he'll have to take that again. We didn't have to take it again, but I'm sure he will.
The Doleja brothers at the moment with differing problems, but at the moment stuck on this particular weight.
So,
yeah, I shouldn't have confused them with one wearing red and one wearing blue, really, should I? One with a bald head. Well, more slightly balder. Robert Doleja. So 225. That's what we want.
Still to get a total. Now this again would still go ahead of his brother because his brother just fouled with the 225. So this would still put him in front. Now, oof. Well, leg cramping again.
Luck's not shining on the pole so far at these championships, David. You know, they've had not the best of fortunes.
Well, that bar is just a fraction under 500 pounds. 500 pounds is 227.5 kilos. So we're starting to hit some pretty big weights now.
Schwarzkopf out for 225.
Yeah, just trying to get as far as he can on the jerk, just to build that total. This will put him on 420, and then he'll just have to sit back with all his clean and jerk lifts done and see if it's enough.
Remember, Assad's his main danger, but of course you got Sudas as well.
Well, he's had a good. I mean, he's got a good chance because Razarenov, who would have certainly been pushing for the gold medal, and Sergeyev, yeah, plus Gottfried. I mean, we've got three of the top men actually out of this competition already, so it's kind of wide open, really.
I wonder what Kakashvilis and co back in Greece are thinking about that. We had an email, didn't we, David, from you'll find it in a minute. It's asking about where the Greek lifters were in the competition. It's from Emmanuel in London. Thanks very much for that email. Well, it's nothing sinister. Basically, as far as the big stars, Kakashvilis and Dimas, are concerned, they looked at the entered body weights, didn't feel that they could be competitive, and decided that they're going to actually keep their powder dry, do the test event in Athens. Salidis and Sabonis, well, they did come to Vancouver, had injuries prior to actually going out on the stage. But to be honest, the Greeks are taking the long view. They're pre-qualified as the hosts of the Olympic Games, so actually they don't have to do this.
So,
unlike that man who really needs to do this.
Yeah, Doleja brothers having all kinds of problems in the clean and jerk, so he finishes
410.
Also on 410, and it now means that his brother, although we've seen that he's having problems, he does have an opportunity now to come out and take that 225 on his third attempt and go into the lead over his brother anyway. by virtue of lighter body weight. So it's just a question of whether the thigh has had time to recover and whether he can psychologically get himself prepared to go through whatever pain is necessary to do this lift and get a total.
Well, when I look at his totals, David, I mean, he's not been, you know, if I'm being really honest about it, in the competitions, you know, the Baltic Cup and the World Student Championships, he's been around the 385 mark. So this is better, but it's miles away from being competitive with the very best.
Oh, well, he did try there. Obviously having problems, but yet another man in this class that fails to make a total. Got to give it to him, though. He came out and he gave it his best.
But injuries, some serious, some thankfully not so serious. Deleja, as you say, no total. Gottfried injured. Consolation bronze medal from the snatch. Chagayev, 3 failures, but we will see him in the clean and jerk. But no chance of an overall total. Razorenov never on the stage.
Well, there's already 4 people out of this competition.
Well, don't be too disappointed. We've still got 2 titles to be decided after this. We could have a grandstand finish here yet because we've got Assad and Sudas and Chagayev, so there's still plenty to fight for. But remember, we've got the super heavyweights, the women's 75 kilo. That's coming up pretty shortly. And then this evening live on Eurosport, or I should say Saturday evening live on Eurosport, you'll be able to see the final of the men's super heavyweights at 10 o'clock Central European time, 9 o'clock for all of you watching on British Eurosport.
So an opportunity for this man to sneak in. I'm just checking that. He's got a body weight of 103.62. That lift puts him on 410 kilos.
Yeah, Pizarevsky, our forgotten man. We've been concentrating on the others. We've rather left him behind. So, I mean, he's got one more lift, David, as well.
Yes, puts him in the lead on the clean and jerk, but of course Shmurchkov still leading the overall with that total of 417.5.
So if he wanted to get ahead of Shmurchkov, he'd have to take 235 and then do it on his body weight. Here's Assad for Qatar, second attack, and he's gone up. 227.5.
And done it very successfully.
So failed at 225, puts it up 2.5 kilos. And goes to 422.5 kilos and has the total and is now 5 kilos ahead of Shmurchkov. So best Shmurchkov can hope for now is overall silver. So Assad now, that's really pretty big now. Somebody's going to have to be immensely bold to take on Assad, David.
Yes, Sudas, although he only snatched 185, still dangerous in that fight for the overall because, of course, he only needs to jerk 132.5 to go ahead of Shmurchkov and push Shmurchkov down into 3rd position, and we know that he can do that.
Yeah, but when I think we're looking at the not to be rude. Yeah, fight for medals in the clean and jerk, absolutely. But the others are fighting for silver and bronze because if you look at Pizarevsky, he's got 410, and you know it's 12.5 kilos. Down on what Assad's got at 422.5. I mean, that, you know, 12.5 kilos. It's a big ask, isn't it? You know.
Oh no, I don't think Sudas can overtake Assad, but I think he can overtake Shmurchkov.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think Shmurchkov is the one who's in danger of not holding on to 2nd place. Here's Chagayev. Well, he's had an awful long time, David, to think about the world and as it is. You know, 3 early failures in the snatch.
Yeah, I think he's got to just put that behind him now and realise that all he's got left now is the clean and jerk. But he is a good clean and jerker, and a gold medal on the clean and jerk for him is a realistic possibility. Coming in here on 230 kilos, so we're now just over the 500-pound mark. So this, although he can't make a total, would actually give him the lead on the clean and jerk at the moment. But of course, still many lifts to come.
Well, he struggled, but he's got there. I mean, he won the clean and jerk title last year in Warsaw with the first of his 3 clean and jerk attempts with 232.5. Had to go at 237.5 on 2 occasions and didn't make them. And I'm not convinced that he'd make 237.5 today, David. But if he wants to make sure of the clean and jerk title, he might have to find a bit more than 230. Well, it's easy for Chagayev, isn't it? Because he can just focus on what he's doing in the clean and jerk. For Sudas, now he's really got to think about not only the clean and jerk, but he's got to think about his overall position. So 5 kilo increase. If he gets this, this will take him up to 415, which will consolidate his bronze medal position at the moment. And it'll get him within, what, 2.5 kilos of Schwarzkopf with 1 lift to come.
Yes, I'm surprised he hasn't taken 232, but maybe he's looking at a medal jerk as well.
Well, again, last year, 230. He then tried 235 twice and failed it.
Well, that's good.
He's got the 230.
So puts him on 415. I'm still surprised he didn't take 32, because that would have put him into 2nd place overall.
Well, he's got a PB of 235. Maybe that's the 3rd and final move. I know what you're saying. You know,
it's not a good move though. He doesn't need to take 235. Yeah. He needs to take 232, because that would put him ahead of Schwarzkopf by virtue of lighter body weight.
Yeah, and he was already in the overall bronze medal position.
So it seemed like a wasted attempt almost, although it does put him in the lead on the clean and jerk by virtue of lighter body weight at them.
And maybe that's the step he's comfortable at, David. You know, 230 is a weight that he knows he's handled comfortably. Maybe he wants to get that in, and then it's one big attempt. So Assad now also going for 230. 104 kilos 92. So even if he gets this, Sudas will remain in gold medal position in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, so this to increase his lead. So put him on 425. Close to the total of 430.
Yeah, remember,
so
actually, well, he doesn't, so it's academic. So actually in the clean and jerk, we've got Sudas with the light body weight on 230, and we've got Chagayev at the moment in the silver medal position in the clean and jerk. So Assad has to settle for 422.5. Saif Assad, or Angel Popov, or Angel Popov of Bulgaria, as he formerly was known. And he's done enough to get the 232.5. So here we go. Bit of fun and games, David. 7.5 kilos, because he wants to gobble up the lot. And if he, you know,
well, no, this is for the silver medal on the overall, and it increases his lead slightly on the clean and jerk, and then it will just be Chagayev that can take the gold medal on the jerk from him. But of course, Chagayev never made a total, so.
Absolutely right. Sorry, I thought it was 7.5 kilos. My miscalculation, but 232.5.
Well, this is the right. This is for this. He can't get the gold. It's too. He'd have to lift too much for the gold, but he can get the silver, and this is exactly the right weight to put him ahead of Schwarzkopf by virtue of that light body weight.
Hardest clean. Now. Deep split, and he couldn't quite do it, and he's left down in 3rd place on 415. And we've got a couple of lifts to go, David. We've got Pizarevsky and we've got Chagayev. So the fight's still on for medal honours in terms of the clean and jerk.
Yeah, Pizarevsky could still actually sneak in there and take the silver or the bronze, because he's on 410 at the moment with his 227.5. So it's just a question of how much more he's got he's got left. And again, it emphasises that failure on the snatch, just how costly it was.
Well, Pisarevsky, with 103 kilos, 62 body weight, lighter than Schmorzkopf, well, if he were to go for 7.5 kilos, he could actually grab second place, push Schmorzkopf down to third, and Sudas off the podium. And I think that's the situation that's going on there with the Turks. How could he possibly have missed that? So Chagayev now, 235. Now Chagayev at 104.01 is heavier than Pisarevsky, but this would emphasize his gold medal chance in the clean and jerk if he can get this. Kodabashev, the president, on the right there in his coaching mode today.
Yes, this would put him ahead of Sudas on the clean and jerk. Again, just to emphasise, he can't win the overall because, of course, he fouled with all 3 snatches at 185. But, of course, in the World Championships, there are individual medals, so still everything to play for in terms of clean and jerk gold.
Drive up is good.
Looks good to me.
Got there, 235. So the Olympic silver medalist from Sydney, the world silver medalist, and the European silver medalist takes and enhances his lead at 235 kilos. Nobody's got that weight, and there's only one man who can depose him from that, and that is his own teammate Gleb Pisarevsky for Russia, who is lighter. But if Gleb Pisarevsky can do it, David, and if he goes for the 7.5 kilos, which he has to because the bar's already at 235, then if he gets it, he will not only take the gold away from Chagayev, he will also take the silver from Schmorzkopf and deny Sudas a medal, an overall medal. So big, big lift. What a way to end the championship. It's been a funny old title fight. Stands. It looked really heavy on his shoulders there, David.
It was a good fight. It stays on 227.
And so it is Qatar who take the gold medal in the shape and form Saif Assad, with Vladimir Schmorzkopf back in the runners-up spot overall, and Bunyamin Sudas once again on the World Championship podium, with Pisarevsky in 4th place. And it really is true, David, if only he'd have got that first snatch in and not been timed out, who knows, it might have been very different.
Well, there could have been many different stories to this championship. 4 lifters.
Ukraine really suffering. They're world and European champions, both injured. So that's really poor luck on their account. Chagayev, though. Well, Chagayev, 243 going for the world record.
Well, he's got the gold medal on the clean and jerk. Okay, he didn't make a total. He's got his consolation gold, and now he's thinking, well, you know, there's no point in taking anything other than the world record, because if he does 237, what does it mean? It doesn't put him any higher than where he already is.
My surprise was because I didn't think he was going to come out. I didn't think he was going to bother, to be honest.
Well, I didn't think he was going to bother, and I actually think that this is too heavy. But having said that, this would be the only reason to come out, to break a world record. There's no other reason for coming out for another clean and jerk. He's already got the gold medal.
Well, he's also trying to do what no man's done, which is to actually break the world standard. Nobody's ever done this.
Yeah, I wouldn't be putting my money on this lift. It's a very, very big ask.
There might be a big bonus back home available. More than 5 kilos than he's ever lifted before in competition.
Well, maybe he's got different ideas.
That's a terrific stand.
Well, got to give it to him, David. That was a hell of an attempt. I mean, I didn't even think he was going to clean it. Cleaned it very, very comfortably. And the jerk wasn't a million miles away.
Yeah, and you look at that and you think, you know, if he got the 185 that he tried 3 times in the snatch, if he just got one of those...
If he'd got one of those, I'm sure we'd be looking at the new world champion. But that's weightlifting.
Not to be, but the consolation prize is, of course, the gold medal in the clean and jerk. So it's a funny old game, isn't it? Dennis Gottfried injured, but he gets the bronze medal consolation from the snatch. Chagayev bombs out in the snatch, comes back, gets the gold medal in the clean and jerk, and very nearly a world record as well. But at the end of the day, it is Asad, Shmochkov and Sudas who are the medalists in the men's 105 kilo class. Well, he couldn't have predicted all of that, David. Really good effort. So 2 competitions to go, David. The men's and the women's super heavyweights. Live, of course, the men's super heavyweights. As you see, the clean and jerk figures there. And the first page occupied by lifters all into the A final there. Sudas the silver, Pizarevsky the bronze. And the man who's won the overall title, actually out of the medals because of his heavier body weight, 104.92 kilos. And Shmochkov, as you said, David, all the way through, always vulnerable in the second phase, down to 5th. Ahead of Steiner, decent performance from the young Austrian. First of the B group men, Romano Boer from Italy. It's encouraging for the Italians to have a lift of clean and jerk in 220, up in the top 10. Marcin Deleja, the younger brother, stuck on 220. This should be the 235. So, Chagayev got 5 medalists on the stage. Overall, Qatar take the gold, Russia the silver, Turkey the bronze. Yeah, David, Saturday night, Ronnie Vella in cracking form in the build-up to the men's super heavyweight, but, you know, is anybody going to take Rezazadeh, the big Iranian? We haven't got a clue.